Right, hello everyone. I was just making sure everything was working, and I do believe hopefully it is. So give me a thumbs up if you can hear me, you can see me, because I'm trying a new streaming setup this time. So everything's a bit probably not going to work very well today. But I thought I'd better do it before streaming a proper race. All right, so. Yeah, I'm going to be doing Tik Tok route today. That is the race which is on Tuesday for the Zwift Racing League. So yeah, it should be alright. Hopefully it's not too difficult. It's a team time trial coming up on Tuesday, and it's a pretty flat route, so hopefully this shouldn't take too long. Right, please let me know, because it's sort of like a test stream, if the audio sounds good, if you can hear me clearly, if you can see the screen alright. Actually, I can tell right now that for some reason Zwift isn't moving, is it? Zwift is frozen. It's a good thing I decided to test this today, isn't it? Alright, why can you not see Zwift? It's moving for me, but you guys can't see it, can you? Zwift. Why is this not working? Streaming is legitimately hard work. Right, let's see. Okay, it's gone black. Okay, can you see it? Is it moving now? That seems a bit better. Okay. Right, you should be able to see my Zwift screen now. Alright, so like I said, this is a pretty chill ride for me, just reconning the Tik Tok route. It is 90% flat, but I think there are going to be a few tiny kickers. I've been fiddling around with source for Zwift because I've been trying to get my Zwift screen to look a bit cooler. So I'm going to load that up now, ask you guys what you think of it. Alright, so there we go. Source for Zwift is up now. I've got a different map in the corner, and on the bottom you can see the elevation profile down there. But it's such a flat course that there really is no difference in elevation. And then this is in the top right is a different map. I'm not really sure how much better or worse that is than the regular map, but I thought it was pretty cool as well. And then I've got the draft gauge, which is going to be very useful for a team time trial, because obviously half the time is spent being in the draft and trying to save as much energy as possible. And then I've got my W prime balance there, so that's a pretty useful one. See how much you've got left in the tank. So yeah, this route is pretty basic, like I said, pretty much all flat so far anyway. I think there's one tiny kicker, not that you can really call it a kicker to be honest, but you know what I mean, a slight incline. New bike, on Zwift or in real life? I can tell you in real life there's definitely not a new bike. I can't remember, did I buy a new bike on Zwift? Maybe I did. I'll tell you what, my real life bike is making a bit of a squeaking sound, so I think today's job, or this weekend's job at least, is to give this a nice clean and oil. I think the chain's incredibly dry. But yeah, I've decided that this bike is going to be stuck on this trainer permanently for the rest of winter. And if I want to go outside, I'm just going to use my mountain bike. Right, so still completely flat. Nothing to note so far. It's 18 kilometers, but in the race on Tuesday, Zwift Racing League, it's going to be 2 laps, so that'll be 36 kilograms, 36 kilometers, which is quite a long team time trial to be honest. It's probably getting up close to an hour, I imagine. So it's probably going to be quite a long one. I can definitely see that. I tried to put some cool overlays on the bottom of the screen but nothing's working, so it's a bit annoying. But I guess it is what it is. But that's why I thought I'd test it out on this one first. Ooh, right, overheating. Let's get these fans on. So one reason I swapped to using this microphone you can see in the picture is that hopefully when I turn the fans on, like I have done now, you can still hear me quite clearly. Because before I was just using the microphone built into my MacBook, which sits quite far away from me. So hopefully with this one a bit closer to me, you should be able to hear me clearly even when I'm running my fans. So let me know if that's the case. Let me know if you can hear me clearly. It'll be very helpful in me trying to get my setup perfected. Cool, good to know I sound pretty clear. That's what I was going for. Right, I'm going to try and fix that stream elements bit at the bottom. I also got myself an external keyboard, so that makes life a whole lot easier. Okay, so this route is literally just flat. I don't think this is sort of route that even needs to be Recon, to be honest. It's just very chill. But when you're doing it to your 100% maximum, it's going to be a bit different story, isn't it? But yeah, for me, this is just a nice chill Zone 2 ride. Just taking it easy. No need to go mad, is there? I did a lot of leg work in the gym this week, and to be honest, I've been feeling it. My legs have been aching, even though I've not really done much cycling, but just trying to work on my leg strength and my flexibility. Actually, I got ChatGPT to write me a cycling and gym workout plan, and to be honest, it's been pretty good, all things considered. So I've been following that for like a week, and that's going to be my off-season plan. Alright, this is pretty chill one, literally just zone 2ing my way all the way around. Yeah, there's not really much to this. I've been trying to get the comments on YouTube to show up on the stream, and it's also supposed to show how many subscribers I have, but God knows why that isn't working. It's all a very complex thing, and I can't seem to get it to work, so I'll have to come back to that later. Maybe I'll get it working by the time we have next Tuesday's stream. Alright, I'm not sure if I'm going to bother doing 2 laps. I might just do 1 lap. Because to be honest, my legs are already done. I'm trying to recover in time for Tuesday's race. But we'll see. Already about a third of the way through. Doesn't take long at all, this one. And like I said, there's pretty much 0 climbing whatsoever. This is probably as easy a route we will get in the Zwift Racing League this year. So I've been fiddling around with Source for Zwift, and there's loads of different things you can do with it. Like, I'll show you what Zwift looks like normally, which is this. And when I turn Source for Zwift on, it looks like this. So, you know, there's a pretty big difference. Like, I've got a different map in the top right, I've got my draft counter, I've got my W prime, I've got an elevation profile on the bottom. But you can add so many things on Source. You can get different windows and stuff which you want to put, which if you want to put on is quite cool. So if you're doing Zwift racing, it's pretty useful to have. I can have power gauge, speed gauges, heart rate, all that stuff. But like if you put a heart rate gauge up, for example, oh maybe not this one, that's not very interesting. Or if you go put a grid on, like this, it tells you far more detail than the standard Zwift one does. Like you've got your minimums, your maximums, whatever you want really. So depending on how much you use Source, it's quite useful really. When you sit up it's harder to hear you. Useful, thank you. Yeah, I've just got to make sure I stay close to the microphone then. Which, to be fair, I shouldn't really be sitting up while racing anyway, should I? I'll try to focus and make sure I stay sitting reasonably close. So yeah, I was going through Source for Zwift. So you can get quite a few different things on here. This is just the basic one which shows all your heart rate, power, cadence. Then you've got some other cool ones. Game control lets you actually I don't think I've used that one. Oh, that's quite cool. It lets you change the camera, but I don't know how it works. I've never tried this one. Presumably it's just easier than having all the shortcuts you've got to memorize on your keyboard. Nearby athletes, what's this one? Alright, so basically this one just seems to be a fancier version of the standard scoreboard you get on the right. And you can see a lot of information about everyone. You can see what power they're doing, the watts per kilo, normalized power, speed, heart rate. So yeah, you can get a lot of information on everyone else if that's your thing. But all of these are really customizable, so you can go into here and tick what information you want to see. So if you want to see everyone's W prime, you can do that. If you want to see everyone's FTP, or at least what Zwift thinks their FTP is. You can see that as well. So let's have a stalk of everyone's. Like mine is apparently 284. You can see everyone's on here, and you see how everyone's doing, how exhausted they are, their heart rate, loads of different things. You can see their heart rate average, their current heart rate, max power, loads of things. Alright, let's get rid of that one. See what else we can find. And you can get mods for Source for Zwift, and these ones are pretty cool. That's what I'm running at the bottom. This elevation profile along the bottom is a mod. Group. Oh, whoops. No, I wanted to go on groups, didn't I? Okay, so this one I've just put on is pretty cool as well. I'll move it to the side. And it's pretty cool when you're racing as well. So it shows you where the groups on the road are. So apparently there's a group of 89 people with me at the moment, which doesn't seem true. And yeah, it will show you if there's a group ahead, a group behind, how far they are, what sort of power they're doing. So that's all pretty useful as well. Also, it now thinks I'm with a pace partner, which is a bit annoying because now I don't know how far in this route I am because the little line has disappeared. It's a bit annoying. How do I get out of this pace partner group? Do I just have to let them go? Okay, yeah, once it goes past I'll be free. I don't really ever use that pace partner thing, to be honest. I probably should, because it seems like quite a good way just to get nice chill zone 2 in, which is what this should be, but to be honest it's less than zone 2. I'm literally just spinning the pain away. Alright, yeah, there we go. Now I'm out of the pace partner group and I see how far I have to go on this. So I've done 9.8 Ks, I've got 9.5 to go, and coming up soon is the one slight climb on this route, which is, you can see at the bottom where the big red dot is, that's me, and you can see it starts to go slightly uphill now, but I don't think this is going to be anything serious, is it? Just a slight incline. Yeah, 2%. Not very steep at all, but it's worth noting on the time trial because it's definitely a chance for you to lose your group if you're not paying attention. Yeah, 3%. It's not the steepest hill in the world, but it's there and you got to be aware of it. Right, let me go back to fiddling with Source for Zwift because that was more fun. Alright, so like I was saying, this one on the left hand side shows you what groups there are in the race. When you're on sort of like a free ride like this, it's not particularly helpful because there's just groups everywhere, but in a race it would be much more useful. Alright, let me get rid of that one, see what else we can put up. So I've done map already. I'll show you the map a bit bigger, because the cool thing about this map is you can drag it around like this, see wherever you want to go. You can also make it as big or as small as you like, so if you wanted a really massive map for some reason, you could do it like this. I don't know why you'd ever want a map this big, but it's just nice that you can set it up however you want, and then you can change all the settings within your map. Like if you wanted to show higher or lower, you can drag these sliders around. If you want it more zoomed in, to be fair, if you zoom it in that much, you can see like every individual rider, which is pretty cool. But yeah, that's a bit too zoomed in for me. Then you can have a overlay, a profile overlay on the map, which is pretty cool. So that's what Zwift is supposed to have done, but I don't think Zwift's implementation is very good, so I think this one's a bit better. And then you can change the quality. Should put on maximum quality just to stress my computer. Tilt shift, let's see what that does. Oh, that's cool, it gives it a bit of an angle. Alright, so that's the map. What else can we put on? Yeah, it is cool that you can see the route on the map. That's definitely something the normal map doesn't do. Alright, what else shall we put on? Shall we go with analysis? Let's see what that is. Alright, this just seems to be my profile, doesn't it? Not particularly. Oh, is this sort of like a live analysis of the ride you're currently doing? So you can see it before it gets uploaded to Strava or whatever. Alright, I take that back, that's pretty cool. Don't know why you'd want to see this in real time, but good to have. Alright, that was analysis. Let's see, we've done athletes, haven't we? Should we do events? I'm not sure what that's going to do. Alright, so this is literally just a list of all the upcoming rides. Pretty useful. And it shows you the distance, elevation gain, all the different groups riding in it, how many people have entered, which is quite useful. Alright, what's next? Game control we did. Segments prototype, let's have a look. Alright, so it seems this is just a leaderboard of the segments, and then at the bottom you can choose which segment you want to look at. That's pretty cool. Browser source, that's just going to be a web browser. So these gauges are pretty self-explanatory. Just shows you the metric you want to see. Okay, let's go into the mods. So this is the Zen Master mod. This one is active power-ups. Did I start it? I did, but I don't know where that one's gone. Maybe it's because I don't have a power-up, it's not going to show anything. Let's delete that one. Right, we were on data grid, so Zen Master mod. Let's see what Zen Master mod's data grid looks like. Oh, whoops, that's way too big. I don't think we need to be that big, do we? I have been fiddling around with these, so I think I might have ruined this one by fiddling with it. Right, that's just another way of showing your data. Oh, going downhill. Lap controls, don't know what that does, not really that interested. Next segment profile, that might be useful. Right, this one's supposed to show your next segment, but it's not really doing much at the moment. Right, that's not very helpful. Route profile with segments, Mercury Island pace passes, Watopia pace partners. Let's see what that does. Oh, that's cool. So this one shows you, if I can make it a bit bigger, shows you where the pace partners are in Watopia, and it shows you their what do you call it, elevation profile as well. I need to drag this down a bit more. So yeah, that is pretty cool. Text is a bit small, but I'm sure that's something you can fiddle with yourself. Alright, what's next? Preview any segment results. live data. See what that is. Nothing's come up. Oh no, it's at the top. Oh, that's a pretty cool one. So this one, I'll make it a bit bigger. That just shows you basically what the box in the top left shows you, but it shows you horizontally rather than in a little box. So that one might be quite useful as well. So the thing with Source for Zwift is that you can get rid of the entire Zwift UI and just build your own one on top of it. So if I click H on the keyboard, oh, is that going to do it? Well, I actually have to click on Zwift to make it disappear. You can get rid of the Zwift HUD, and then you can build your own HUD on top of it to show exactly what you want. So you could feasibly just put only the things that are relevant to you on it, which I think is quite cool. It's always good to have your own options, isn't it? Right, I do like some of the Zwift UI, so I just like to overlay certain bits. Alright, I've got 5k to go. To be honest, this was the most boring Zwift Recon possible, because there's not really much to it. It's literally just a flat route, one slight climb, but there's not really much to be said, is there? I'll just make sure I'll just get to the end and then call it a day, to be honest. It's been a nice chill zone 1, zone 2 for me. Just spinning out the legs, testing my streaming setup, which I'm glad to hear is working pretty much fine. I got myself a new microphone, so hopefully I'm a bit clearer than I have been in the older streams. I've also set it up so that I can listen to music, and depending if I want, I can send that music out to the stream, but I'm sure not everyone wants to listen to the music I'm listening to. I can also mute the Zwift audio at any time, so you should be able to hear the Zwift in-game audio. I just turned it up a bit, so if I press the mute button, that should disappear. So you should just be hearing my voice now, and then I can press it again, and then the Zwift audio will come back. So I like having that on, but quite quiet. I can also just press a button and disappear like this, but I have my MacBook set up using that webcam behind it, because I've had problems with my main camera sometimes disconnecting. So that's good to have that in case my main camera decides to shut off, which it has decided to do a few times. So it's good to have backups. I can also, for whatever reason, get rid of the Zwift window. I don't know why I'd want to do that, because that's the main event, but there we go. And I also have an overlay, so I can put this up if I wanted to talk about what the route is, the route profile, stuff like that. So it's pretty cool indeed. I can also change what you're seeing as well. So if I wanted to just show myself, I can do this, and then you can sort of see a bit more of me, like at the end of the race. If you don't need to see the Zwift screen, I can put this up as well. I can also go back to this screen, but that screen is a bit pointless. That's just the screen I have on before the stream starts. But it's quite good. I have it all set up on this little control pad here, which I bought years ago. That's good to get some use. It makes it a lot easier rather than having to like lean over to my laptop, go through all of that. Yeah, life is just a lot easier having it set up properly. Also, for some reason the Zwift companion app wasn't working for me before, but now I had to go through so much trouble to get it to work. I don't know why it didn't want to work. I had to like reset my routers, do port forwarding, loads of rubbish like that. But in the end I got the Zwift companion app to work, which is quite useful. So I was going to go through what do you think is the best view to use on Zwift? So this is the default one. This is third person. Then you can go to third person short, which is just a bit closer, and then first person, which you don't see many people use, but I think this is quite a good one, especially if you're in a big bunch, you'll be like right up behind other people. This one's the next one, angled rear facing, which again, pretty cool, but you can't see what's coming up. Chase, this is like a super dramatic one as well, but again, not particularly useful. Rear facing, I think this one might be quite useful if you're doing a team time trial, because you want to be, if you're taking pull on the front, you want to be able to see how close everyone is behind you, and to make sure you're not like pulling away from them. So I think this one's slightly underrated. And then we've got sideline, where you're absolutely miles away from him. And then finally, helicopter view, which again, a bit pointless, although it does eventually zoom in a bit to your man or woman. But I think I'm probably going to stick it to third person short or third person. Maybe I'll do third person short because it's a bit closer. They need an option to rotate through the camera angles automatically just for immersion. Yeah, true. And it would probably make it a bit more interesting, wouldn't it? But there's another feature which some people never really use. You can always click on other people and see what they're doing, which is quite funny. Like, if this is the guy in front of me, can I go to the person in front of me and then put the rear facing camera on? I can. So I'm currently the one behind this person, which is pretty funny. So let's see if I can overtake this guy. You can see me closing in behind him. There we go. So I'm just overtaking this guy. My man looks absolutely ripped. Right, how do I go back to me? Gotta click this one, don't I? Oh, no, I can't click the button because it's covered up by the elevation profile. Where am I? There. No? That one. Okay, I'm back on myself. Quite useful. Got 2.3 kilometers to go in this stream, on this route. So like I said, this is a Recon off Tik Tok, which is the course we're doing on Tuesday for the Zwift Racing League. Literally not much to say. There's one tiny little climb about halfway through, but not particularly interesting, where I'm get out the saddle for a bit. I've been sitting in the same position for 35 minutes, so not particularly comfortable. So I'm not sure if I'm going to stick with this mic. I might get one which I can clip to myself. But that means I have to keep my jersey on the whole race, which is probably not going to happen. But we'll see. We'll see if it works. I'll test this out for one race. Alright, I'm just going to test comparing this microphone to the built-in microphone, because I know it should be better, but I just want to ask you guys. So currently I'm using this external microphone. I'm going to switch it to the macro one and tell me if the audio gets worse. So I'm switching it now. So let me know, can you still hear me? Or is it worse, quieter? I'm not sure. Let me know what you think. Definitely worse on that one. Okay, perfect. That's what I want to hear. So I'll put it back to the good one. Right, back on the external mic, the one which is closer. Good to know all my effort setting up that microphone wasn't for nothing. So yeah, I think when I turn the fans up even higher, this microphone will be better. So at the moment I only have my fans on level 1. I'll put them to level 3 and hopefully the noise shouldn't get too much louder. Right, maximum fans. So I assume you can still hear the fans in the background getting louder, but hopefully you should still be able to hear me as well. Like if I switch to my MacBook one, the MacBook microphone, I reckon I'd be completely drowned out. But yeah, this is how it's going to be on the race, because obviously race situation, got to have fans on maximum, otherwise I just overheat. To be honest, I'm doing like barely any watts. I've averaged 150 and I'm still pretty hot, so yeah. Right, turning fans down. Those fans are really cool. They have a little remote so I can turn them on and off without having to get off the bike. They are Cardio Master? No, Vac Masters, and they're pretty good. They're way cheaper than the actual Zwift fans. You know, you can get the Wahoo headwinds or whatever. These are just like that, but a third of the price basically. And I got them on deal, so I got 2. So I have one fan on the left, one fan on the right. Can hear it, but hear you as well. Fans might be blowing a bit on the mic as well though, yeah. Hear a bit of a wind noise, like when it's recording outside without a muffler. That's worth considering actually. I have got quite a chunky muffler on the mic, but when there's so much wind coming past it, I think it's going to be pretty hard to get rid of the wind noise completely. But I did my best. But I've got another muffler actually. I'll try to put a bigger one on for next time, and that might help a bit. I do think maybe you're right. Maybe if I move this to more in front of me, it might make a difference. But it's going to be a bit annoying because I'm going to be moving up and down, getting in the way of this microphone. But at least it's better than the MacBook ones. That's what I was trying to go for anyway. Right, I've got 50 meters and then this course is done. Here we go, crossing the line. Perfect, finished. Right, so that's the Recon off Tik Tok course for Zwift Racing League on Tuesday. That was just 1 lap for me. The real race is 2 laps. 1 lap took me 38 minutes, so if you're going for it, I reckon probably be quite a bit faster than that. So I reckon maybe 2 laps, so that'll be about an hour hopefully. Especially when you're working together with your team, you should be able to go pretty fast, I reckon, because it's so flat, everyone taking pulls and all that stuff. So hopefully I'll be able to get this stream sorted so it works perfectly on Tuesday, because that's the goal. Alright, anyway, thank you all for watching. Hopefully you found it useful, and I will see you next time. Alright, bye bye everyone. Hope you have a good day or a good weekend. Bye bye.